This is the Book Deal Podcast, a podcast all about inspiring and motivating writers.
Where we interview seasoned and debut authors about their own writing, from the blank page to the book deal and beyond.
We hope these stories will help you to stay positive, focused, and carve your own path forward.
I'm Madeleine Cleary.
And I'm Tina Strong.
And this is the Book Deal Podcast. The Book Deal Podcast acknowledges the traditional owners of the land and waters which it's recorded on, and pays respect to their elders past, present, and emerging. Okay, so listeners, we are on a time frame here because it's Sunday. And what else do you do on a Sunday afternoon, Tina?
Mm-hmm. Well, I do literally have a roast in the oven, and my husband's very capable, and I've written him a big list of what to do when, but I just need to go and check on it.
So we're gonna try and finish up this podcast before Tina needs to get her roast out of the oven. So we've got so much to talk about.
Multitasking. We have a lot to chat about.
I want to ask you because I just think let's start with this because I think this is so fun. You were invited to the HarperCollins. Is it the HarperCollins Day or is it the Harper Day or is it the Author's Day?
It's HarperCollins Author Day.
Oh.
So it's a really cool thing that HarperCollins do for their authors and illustrators, and there's agents there as well, and publishers and all the team that work in the office down in Sydney and elsewhere. They come in as well. It's so it's a yearly thing that they do. And it's a couple of presentations that are held in their offices there. They just give a bit of a rundown on what's happened over the last year, the market, what's selling and what's not really selling, and the trends. So it's really interesting looking at it and seeing it from their point of view, and just that sort of globally the impact that is being had on the book market.
So what were some of the trends, Tina? I'm interested.
Yes, one of the trends I guess that stood out to me was that YA, young adult, is slowly creeping back up again.
Yes,
which is very exciting
for you.
because I love YA. I love to read YA and I love to write YA. So that's pretty exciting. Don't have time to write YA yet, but it's on the horizon hopefully at some point. So that was really awesome. And then the other really super cool part about it is just seeing all the other authors and meeting all the other authors that you haven't met yet, or ones that you have met, and it's a nice little catch up. And when you go around and you're like, hi, you know each other's names, and you're like, I don't know if I've met you in person or if it's just on Instagram and socials, but I feel like I know you. So that was super fun. That's
so
always
cool. So,
but interestingly, though, Madeleine, and talking about meeting people on Instagram and meeting them in real life and not remembering if you know them in real life or not, brings me to your Instagram ban.
Oh, yes.
The self-imposed Instagram ban.
Look at my face right now. Don't I look refreshed for not having gone on Instagram in 3 to 4 days? Like, I just feel everything feels more wholesome, I feel,
oh, really?
off Instagram. It's wonderful. So
tell me why you decided to ban yourself. Is it were you finding that you were just actually spending a bit too much time on there, or that it was just a time suck?
Both. I felt that it wasn't even the time. I just felt my focus was slipping. I couldn't write or even read a book for longer than a small time period before I felt the inclination to check my phone. And I wasn't even interested in whatever I was checking. It was just becoming so habitual, because I think so many exciting things pop up all the time. And, you've got things, it's very exciting, the Instagram world. And it's nice to feel connected and part of the community. I'm absolutely not discounting that. But I was feeling my focus was really short. And I know that we're both talking about our works in progress later on as well. And I think that's part of it. I really wanted the next 2 months to focus on my new book that I'm writing. And I feel like that creative time of first writing of new words needs that focus. And instead of thinking about the book, I was thinking about the next Instagram post, which is it's a creative thing, but it's not the creative thing I wanted to do. So I think I'm Wednesday maybe, or Thursday, I said to my husband that I was just finding it really difficult to focus. He's like, well, why don't you go off it for a few months? And I said, oh, no, I can't because I have to be on there. And he's like, no, you don't have to. What he said, I'll monitor it every day for you. If anything interesting pops up, I'll let you know. And so that's what I've done. And I cannot check it because I always have multi-factor authentication on my Instagram, and I've changed the code to my husband's phone number, so I can't even log on.
Oh, nice. That's dedication.
Yes.
Very impressed.
But I must say, I probably will go on our podcast socials every so often because I still want to keep in touch with our listeners and put up our next post and do that. Like, I think that's fine. I never felt the urge to check that. It was my personal Instagram that was the issue. So yeah, and I feel this like weight off my shoulders, and I don't have the same pull to pick up my phone. So for anyone looking for a break, highly recommend it. Get yourself someone to monitor it for you. It's wonderful.
That's a good idea. I have a time limit on it.
I did.
But all it says, because if I click on Instagram, it goes, you've reached your time limit.
Yes.
And then I can just click ignore.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing too.
It doesn't really help. But I realized just the other day, I had notifications that would pop up on my phone, but I've turned them off now. And that's actually been helpful because I actually do forget about it now.
Yes,
if
that's
it's not
good.
there, I do forget about it a bit. But maybe I should do that too. I'm finding that it's not that I'm going into it more, but sometimes I'll pick up my phone and then 10 minutes later, as I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'm like, hang on, what did I even pick my phone up for? And it was actually like to do my Woolies order or to check my bank account or something. And I would think to myself, how did I even get into Instagram? How am I even here? And they've just perfected that algorithm, haven't they? Where it does something to your brain where you automatically just click it. Just have a little look. I don't know. And then like 10 minutes goes to waste. And as we know, time is very precious, especially when we're writing.
I think it's well worth it.
At night.
I've tried the override app. I've tried deleting the app, but I just reinstalled it and I just overwrote it. So I was at a point where I just had to do it. I need help.
So I want to know so your husband's checking it.
Yes.
Did you give him any like rules, like levels of, okay, if this person contacts me, you got to tell me about that. But if it's this person, don't worry about it.
No. Any DM I'm getting, I've just let him, no, please let me know. And actually, I did get a very cool DM a few days ago from Sophie Stern. So she is a writer and her book is being published. She's a debut author. Her book will be coming out in 2026. Can you believe that? 2026. And Sophie is about to start the debut crew for 2026, which is exciting. So if there's any listeners who are listening to this, please reach out to Sophie Stern. And she's going to start the crew. And
Sophie's on Instagram. Is that how they can contact her?
Yes.
That's pretty exciting because there's literally authors right now signing deals for 2026. And they've probably already signed them because, as we know, it can be a couple of years.
We need to get a move on,
exciting.
Tina. We need to get our second, or your fourth book. My second. We need to get moving and hustling, I think.
Yeah. Gosh. That's going to think about how far away that'll be. That'd be like 27 probably.
No, don't say that.
Feels so far away.
You know those like book a year authors? Like I always imagined myself I'd be that type of rolling thing, but it's I think it's pretty difficult and pretty churning to get that book a year. A lot of respect for authors that can do it.
Yeah, but you could do it. You seem to write pretty fast. Maybe this is our natural segue into our whips, our work in progress that we want to talk about. So you've got one book that's signed and is being released next year. And you've got another full book that you've written.
Yes.
A full manuscript. And now you're working on something brand new. But you're going really well with that. Your word count on that's, you're smashing those numbers out.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Approach to new words. I'm trying to think if it's been changing since the first book, and I think it has. I think you're right. The speed has increased because I think I took a lot longer to write the first draft of The Butterfly Women. Probably took me about 12 months.
That's
Where
good.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
really good because how many words is the butterfly one?
Well, back then it was sitting at about 80,000 and now
Yeah.
it's about 94, 93, I think. So it's gone up in size. So it took, yeah, about 12 months to write the first draft and a few months to edit. And then my second book, so I actually wrote it last year and I wrote it in about 7 weeks. That
Oh
was
my
about
gosh.
80,000 words, but that was different, I feel, because it was contemporary fiction. And I don't know, I was talking actually with like Catherine and Colette and I do a bit of that coaching session. Then we'll hopefully get Catherine on the podcast to talk about that. But we were talking about, she said that it sounds like I have muses that speak to me in my writing, and I need to get that out. And I definitely do I feel like last year I had the muses speaking at me, going, go, 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 go. And I just had to do it. So I was almost finished, and I did take a couple of weeks off work even to finish it because I was so involved and I couldn't, yeah, I just had some spare leave and I was like, oh, I have to get this done. And then I had a looming trip to Japan as well booked, and that was approaching it and I was really close. So I took my laptop with me on the plane and I spent the 10 hours finishing it, and I finished it on a plane trip to Japan. So that was weird. I don't think I've ever had like that. I don't think that experience will repeat again because it just felt all very different. But then this third book, the way I've approached it is interesting because I thought, because it's historical fiction, like I've always said, that I would spend months doing heaps of research and feel like I know everything about the history of that time, and then I will sit down and write it. But it's actually, and that's what I did with Butterfly Women. But this time it's been so different. I started, yeah, researching, and then the story just came. Maybe it's that sort of muse thinking, and I just had to write the story. And so now I'm up to about 29,000 words, and I started it probably 6 weeks ago, I'd say. So my aim is to get this draft done by the end of the year. And I'm not, and I guess why I like to do it quickly is because it's the story's in my head right now. And so I feel like if I was to go slowly, I'd have to go back and reread all those extra words, whereas I can just push forward. That makes
Mm.
sense. What about
It
you?
does. It does make sense. I find that really interesting as well
Mm,
because I don't write historical fiction. And like you said, though, it's different each time. Um, whether you have the storyline first and maybe based in a particular era or
mm-hmm,
time, and
mm-hmm,
then you research to make it historically accurate for that time,
mm, mm,
or whether there's something or a moment in history, which I think is what happened with the butterfly women, right? It's you've researched a story,
mm-hmm,
or something that happened back in time that then created that the rest of the story for you. Is that right? Is
mm,
that what happened? Yeah, okay. So I find that really interesting. And I guess it can happen both ways. And so
mm.
it's kind of happened again, has it? Where you've sort of done some research in time and then it's just something about it's just
Yeah.
flicked on a switch of this story that you just,
Well,
it's
for me,
cool.
it's not the story that comes first, it's the characters. And
Mm,
then the story develops around the characters.
mm,
Like always character first, never
mm.
story comes to me.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'll have to show you in person. I have a notes on my phone where at the start I have the character. I know who she is. I know who the main character is. But then
Mm.
I'm trying to work out the story or what's going to happen and who she is. And it just changes like every and you can just scroll right through and it's changing. So I actually had no, because I'm a pantser. I don't know what the story is. So yeah, I don't have the story first. I always have the characters first.
Ah, that's
Is that different for
interesting.
you?
Um, Times, I don't know. I think sometimes it's just it comes together at the same time. I don't think I've strictly been a character first, though. I
Mm.
think I've had more of an idea of a plot before I've written it, and I haven't had to think about what I want this character to be, though. That character's just sort of there. That's the person that's best for it. Definitely the main character, anyway. some of the supporting characters, I might work on them a little bit more to
Mm-hmm.
play a particular role, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
in the story. But yeah, so I'm writing new words now as well for
Yes,
the
I'm
first
so
time in
exciting.
so long I've been working. Well, at the beginning of the year, I again, sort of like what you did, just a storyline just came to me and I just wrote it and just it just was there. And I did, about 10,000 words on that manuscript,
Mm-hmm.
which was middle grade, so it'll be about 40,000. It's about a quarter of it. And but then just sat on that for a while because of so many edits
Mm-hmm.
for my books that are coming out next year.
And that's hard,
And
isn't it? Because you get pulled out and then it's really hard
yeah,
to go back in, I think. And perhaps
yeah,
that's why this year we've kind of waited till now to write new words because
yes,
right now we're in that
yes,
state where we've just like we've pushed it all away and we can got that sort of that
for now.
time. Yes, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I'm an everyday writer. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not working on edits for the World series, which is coming out next year, then I'm still writing something. I have
Mm-hmm.
to be writing something. And so that's why this current manuscript that I'm writing has been very exciting, but it has been weird to have a big break from it. And
Mm.
this one's been really weird as well. I was talking to another author friend recently about it. We're talking about plotting and pantsing and all those sorts of things. And I think just every book that I write is different. And this is, I think I've mentioned to you, I guess you could call it fully plotted, or is it someone's zero draft or vomit
Mm.
draft, as I've heard people call it,
Mm-hmm.
when they just go bleh, and they just kind of like spew it all out on the page. And because I've kind of done that, and now I'm coming back and going,
Oh.
so I've kind of just it's all flown out of my head of even what each scene will be, and now I'm just going back and actually writing the scene
Wait,
properly.
so how long did that take you to do?
Um, probably not that long. I actually, so it was a while ago now since I've done it, but probably a good couple of days or so, or altogether of like full days of to get it done.
Wait,
But
how
it
many words?
that was of that just like spewed out stuff that I
Oh,
did.
okay.
It
Not like a full zero draft, but just like an outline, a plot outline.
was about 27,000 words.
What? You did
Yeah.
27,000 words
Yes.
in 2 days.
No, a bit more than that.
I thought
Yes.
I was, when I was like, yeah, I've done 29,000 words in 6 weeks, I was like feeling pretty chuffed. You've done
Oh,
27,000 words in
yeah.
4 days.
Yeah, probably. But because Madeline, this
Oh my God.
story is just literally in my head, right? So it's like if someone said to you now, sit down and just tell me really quickly the story of or each scene in, I don't know, what's your favorite movie? Or a really well-known movie, right?
Pride and Prejudice.
Pride
Yes.
and Prejudice, just like yeah, you know, it's all there, right? Because it's sitting in your head and you already know it, and it just needed to
So,
get out onto the page.
okay. This is crazy to me. So, do
Me
you
too. I
just,
haven't ever done that before.
so this is the first time you've done it?
Yeah, with this one it's just all there. But as I'm writing it though, these other really cool things come to me with like the plot, and I'm like, oh, that'll be really good. And I add that, or then I'll be like, oh, I should put that in before. And because I'm in Scrivener, I just go back to that scene and click on the scene and put it in, and then go back and honestly, it is so. When I say zero draft, vomit draft, it is 100% that. It's literally like my brain coming out to the page.
You're transcribing this like literally.
Yep,
Okay.
onto the
Okay. So
page.
are you
Mm-hmm.
describing the story rather than telling the story initially then? Is that
Yes,
okay?
yes,
Okay.
100%. So
Wow.
it's nowhere
Wow.
near like a story, a fully well-written story by any
Okay.
means. It's 100% get the idea out because it's like this, like a movie playing out in my head. So,
So
so that's
when
how
you
that
write,
one worked.
can you picture that? So you see it as a movie when you
Mm,
write?
hmm
That's interesting.
Do you?
Mm, no.
Mm. But I don't know if I do. I don't know if I do that with all of them. I think I do actually.
So interesting. I'm trying to think. No, sometimes I just this is gonna sound really weird, but
Mhm.
like sometimes I'm like I feel like I'm the character and I'm kind of just like mouthing the words as I type them. do you
I
do?
I have to be careful if I'm writing in cafes, okay? Because I pull these faces, really odd faces. I mean, I'm not writing sex things though, am I, Madeleine? So that's something that you've really got to be careful about. But
Yes.
I just, I pull really weird faces. Yeah. So you do that
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, I think I do. I mean, it's hard to know. Maybe we need to record ourselves writing and then watch it back. I actually did do that for this little day in a life of a full-time author, which was my dream day. But it's not every day, everybody. Everyone's like, you're so productive. I'm like, yeah, well, Instagram
On that
versus
day.
versus reality
Yeah.
on that day. But yeah, I didn't watch the full thing back because who watches themselves writing for an hour? Like that's you got to have other better things to do, I think. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I would pull some crazy weird faces. This is so interesting. This is fascinating. So
Sometimes
you're gonna
I write with my eyes closed.
No, really?
Yes, I just thought about that then. I write with my eyes closed because
you're
it's
seeing the movie.
so in my head. Luckily, I can touch type very fast.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing that's helpful with that. But I really do. And I close them because I can just see it there and my fingers can't type fast enough to get the words onto the page.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. So you're very much then story focused, story driven. That's the thing that comes to you first. Whereas I could never do what you've just done because I don't know what the story is, because I need to know who the character is and what is motivating them and what conflicts there are and what tensions there are that will impact the character. And I was actually having this really good discussion with my husband about the character, like first draft characters. I don't know if you find this, but in all my first drafts, the main protagonist I find is always a bit passive.
Okay.
Because she or he, they're reacting to something happening around them because I'm still working out what is happening. And so it's almost like my reaction. I'm like, oh, yeah. And so whereas they're not driving the story, they're there and the story's happening in the beginning.
But then they do. But
that's in the second. That's the second first or second draft. I'll then have to come back and make some tweaks to make sure, because I know now what's going to happen, so that it appears that they're actually driving some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, I've just noticed my protagonist has been so passive in the last few chapters, and so I actually called out her passivity. And so she's now becoming aware of her. And so that's more of a flag for me when I come back to say, okay, time to fix this.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's a really good top tip for aspiring authors who are, learning, the ropes of writing and things like that, is your main character, passive. It's not, because some people are just passive.
That's right. That's
just
right.
Their characters. So that's fine. But the storyline, it can't just be happening around them.
No.
They have to actively be influencing that storyline and making decisions.
That's right.
They can be a passive personality, but they actually have to be making the decisions. That's my top tip for today.
Yes, that's a great tip. I don't have one yet. I'll hopefully have one before we finish. But
okay,
yeah, it's so interesting.
So you can do, and I've tried to do them, but I cannot. There's these things. There's so many resources out there. And some of them are about your character and developing your character. Sometimes, have you seen these before, where they're like interview questions?
Oh, yes.
So it's like pretend to interview your character and what would they do in this situation? Heaps of practical things like how old are they, where are they from, what's their background, religion, what's their family, what's their upbringing, do they swear, do they not swear, what would they do if in an emergency, all those kinds of things that can tell you a little bit about, so you can think about what your character's like. And I've tried to do that before writing. I could do it after I write the whole thing, but I've tried to do it before and try to plot them, and it just doesn't really.
Well, because you don't know who they are until you get to the end. Whereas I think
some people really do. Like,
I think I could do that straight away. Like before I write the story, I think I don't do them, but I have a very clear sense of who the character is before I start writing. Like very, very, very clear.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, and I guess as I'm going through, because I pants it, I do get to like, you know how you get to like two paths and your character can make that choice. And I always in my head go, now make sure the character is making this choice. It's not you making the choice about what you would do. You have to go, no, what would this character do? What would that character do? And then I guess that's kind of a little exercise in working out that.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Well, another top tip for people learning, the ropes of writing is to have a look at those. I can't think of any names, but maybe we can I'll have a look and put some links in the show notes to those sort of
the exercises. Yes.
Yeah, and I did a course with Australian Writers Centre about developing characters as well. And yeah, they had lots of those sorts of questionnaires and stuff like that, which was really interesting. And also a Curtis Brown creative one once before as well, which I found really interesting. So I could link to them.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think it's super, super helpful. No, this is, so great.
So, but also, you're going to laugh, but I also started writing something else.
Wait, what? Hang on. Okay, so hang on. All right, so just for me and for our listeners, let's just work out what is it. We need a segment. What is Tina doing? She has 3 books coming out next year with HarperCollins. Yes. Okay.
Yes. That's
signed. Right. Done. You have a young adult book that you've half written, or mostly written.
I've got 2 that I've written. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Just want to get back to an edit. Yeah.
You've got 2 young adult books that are currently written that you have to edit. Okay. You have this 3rd book, 27,000 words of, which is the story. And that is a middle grade?
That's my whip. Yep.
That's your middle grade.
A middle grade, yes.
Okay, and then what is this 4th book, Tina? You're nuts. Okay.
So this is what happened. And this was actually a really good sort of teaching moment for my children too, who probably didn't even listen to me when I was trying to teach it to them, but that's fine. But also for adults, right? I think it's for all of us, especially talking about social media bans. So as we just spoke about, I went to Sydney recently for the HarperCollins Author Day. And in the taxi from the airport to the office in Sydney, I was sort of just doing a few things on my phone, while I was in the taxi. And I kind of just got a bit sick of looking at the screen because I think I was watching something on the flight and everything like that. I don't know about you, but sometimes I just feel a bit gross just looking at it all the time.
Yeah.
So I thought, just look out the window. I don't get to Sydney often either, so I'll look around. And I just saw something. We drove past something, just this spot right in the middle of the city. And I was like, that looks really interesting. And I won't say what it is because it's a big
you have to.
Book's about. No, I can't.
Oh my gosh.
But
you're gonna leave us hanging, Tina.
Yes, I am. But what I saw was it just sparked this idea in my head, this storyline idea. And by the time I got to the hotel, I had already filled my phone with notes. And again, it is like a movie in my head. Like I'm super excited about it. So I've had to, and I don't know how many words I've written, but it's a few, where I had to spend a couple of days just getting it out.
Wait, another one?
Yes. Oh, but it's not that much. But I think I said to you, I'm just going to.
How many?
I can't remember. I'll have to go and have a look. So I just got it all out, all the major dot point. Again, it's just like my brain thoughts spewing out through my fingers into the computer. Just this idea. I just needed to get it out because I think I actually, you get really excited about.
Yes.
Sometimes you have ideas for things and you go, oh, that's kind of cool. Could probably work on that, see how that goes. Sometimes you get super excited.
Yeah, the muses. It's the muses. They spoke to you.
It was the muse, and I desperately wanted to write it while it was fresh, but at the same time, I know I'm writing this other. I'm in the middle of another middle grade that I'm also super excited about. So I've had to just dump as much as possible out onto the page. So when I finish the one that I'm working on now, I can go back to that and hopefully you'll be fresh. And
that's so interesting. I can see now why you dump. You info dump onto a page.
I don't want to forget anything. I just think, oh, this is a really cool thing. Quick, just dump it. And it can make no sense.
But makes sense to you though. That's the
hopefully it'll make sense when I get back to it. Well, otherwise that might be a bit tricky. But anyway, so I've been doing lots of new words and it's been really cool because yes, I've loved working on my Wild as Zoo series, and I still have more to do. Still got lots of edits that'll be coming in, but it has been exciting to get these new ideas.
That's so cool. Oh, love it. This is
It's
great.
exciting
This is great
news.
chat. Well, I think we need to have like a weekly segment. Where is Tina up to? How
Check
many
in.
books is she writing now?
What new book has she written this week? No, no, just these ones I will be focusing on.
And we should say as well, this episode's gone a bit longer than what we normally would because we thought,
surprise.
surprise, we thought that we have so much to talk about every fortnight. So maybe we'll start doing these on the other side of each interview. And so you'll hear more from us. And I think it's definitely going to be important sort of next year as well. We'll have lots of updates as we progress through 2025 and with our debuts.
Yes, and we are going to do some planning for next year. We've already pretty much booked out with guests for next season and almost the one after that. But if any of our listeners have anything that they would like us to cover and to chat about, definitely when I chat to authors, they do have lots of ideas. So send them through to us on our Instagram. Madeleine won't read it because she's got a self-imposed ban, but I will. And her husband might as well. So, hey, does he want to also do the admin for the book deal?
Yeah, I should ask him.
Instagram as well as your personal one. Or emailing us at the book deal podcast at outlook.com, or either myself or Madeleine, or no, not Madeleine, that's right, but myself on Instagram. Yes. And any of your ideas or suggestions, because we'll try and work them in for next year.
Yes, that please do. We are very open to talking about anything. So drop us a line if there's anything you're interested in. All right. Thanks, Tina.
That's a wrap. Thanks,
That's
Madeleine.
a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Book Deal podcast. Please like, follow, or share this episode so we can encourage more aspiring authors.
And if you have a question you'd like us to answer or ask our guests, please find us on Instagram at The Book Deal or email us at thebookdeal@outlook.com.